I started at the Willows. Well, I started with my dad when I was younger, probably 11 or 12. He kind of he got me into the game. I was just always like, I was a big baseball and hockey guy, but golf was, it kind of played second or third fiddle to those two when I was younger. I really enjoyed the game though, and picked it up fairly quickly. I was playing with my dad and his buddies, or we'd go on camping trips and stuff like that, and kind of just bunting the ball around. And I was always jealous because everybody else could hit the ball up in the air, and I couldn't really hit it up in the air yet. And our family reunions where all the older cousins were playing, and they got to go play the big course, and we'd go play the par three or whatever, right? So, but then really got into it a little bit more like 12, 13. I think I was 12 or 13 when I got my first membership here at the Willows. And I was a junior member and started playing quite a bit and really fell in love with the game. Yeah. And then I was a junior member here for a few years. And I never really played competitively when I was younger. I just liked playing and played with my buddies quite often. And in hindsight, wish I did take it more seriously, because it ended up being the sport that I was probably the best at, but didn't realize that till later on. I just, I wanted to make the majors and make the NHL, and had no idea that I wasn't even close.
Didn't we all?
Right? No idea that I wasn't even close to making that, but it is what it is. So yeah, I was 16 years old out here when I got my first ace. It was on Bridges 6. It was playing 160 some yards, and it was a 6-iron. I was playing with two of my buddies. There was actually a marshal sitting up on the hill, and the ball goes in. The marshal is we're going crazy. The marshal's going crazy. He radios into the pro shop. This kid just got an ace. He just got an ace. And then I hear him yell back, "Hey, what ball you hitting?" I'm like, "Pinnacle!" Just so proud, Pinnacle. And then I hear him like talking to the guys in the pro shop. And then he comes back to me. He goes, the pro shop says, "Too bad the Wilson rep is in the clubhouse right now. And if you're hitting a Wilson, you would have had a brand new Wilson Invex driver for you." That's when the Invex first came out. Yeah. I'm like, it's a Wilson. Who cares? You know what I mean? I was like, just pretend I was hitting a Wilson. Who cares? Yeah. Give me the driver.
16 years old. Yeah. Crazy.
Right?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Would have been a great story. So that was kind of like, that was my first one that I got. And weird story to that is they used to have all the names up of the hole-in-ones on everybody at the hole here at the Willows. They were posted.
Okay.
And for some reason, ask them about it, and they never put up my name. So I always had a sore spot for them not doing that. And I don't know why. Like, there's 3 of us playing. Like, the marshal saw it. Everybody saw it go in. So that was the first one. And then after that, they started to happen about every 3 years, which is really crazy. I got my second one. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's obviously, you chase that feeling forever. You're getting it early. And It's almost like you buy lottery tickets or what?
Right. Well, but the thing is, like, as I will tell you these stories, like, I've never won a boat. I've never won a car. I've never won. And I would never trade my 9-hole-in-ones for a boat. Now, I would not do it because, people have boats. Nobody has 9-hole-in-ones.
Well, some do.
Some do.
That's very, in my knowledge in the Saskatchewan golf industry, that's quite high.
Yeah.
I know Jim Sissons has 11. Colin Coben has 13. So you're getting close, right?
I'm getting up there, and I know there's Konecki who golfs here. He has 7.
Okay.
And there's a couple other guys that like have 5 and around there, but there's not many that I've talked to. I've heard Colin Coben has a lot. I knew that. So my second one was at a family reunion. I was 19, and we're playing the par 3 course, Paradise Valley in Medicine Hat, with my family, and got one at the family reunion. That one was off the mats, and it backspun, because I don't even hit backspin even to this day, not much. And this one spun back and in the hole. That was number 2. My third one, a couple of years later, was at Connaught Golf Course in Medicine Hat, hole number 9. This was probably my best hole-in-one that I've got. It landed in the cup and destroyed the cup, and the ball was in the hole. I
Dunked
dunked
it.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
I dunked it right in. And I thought it'd gone over the hill because you couldn't see the bottom half of the pin or the bottom quarter and it didn't see it bounce. So I was like, I'm bunker long or something, right? And went up and you could just see the back of the cup was just ripped open and the ball somehow stayed in there. Yeah. So that one was crazy. Number 4 was back at that Paradise Valley. I got one on a different hole there. I was playing with my family, like a couple cousins and a girlfriend at the time, and my brother. That one was just like a kind of like the first one, hit, roll, landed in or rolled in. Number 5 was at Knott in Medicine Hat, and that was with a bunch of buddies. That was another 3 years later, so it was 22, 23. And hit it. It was getting dark out, and again I couldn't find my ball. I thought I'd gone over, thought I'd gone short, looking everywhere, and one buddy goes up to the hole. He's like, "You're in the hole." So that was number 5. And then so then I was about 25, 26, and then moved back to from 2000 or 99 to 2009. Then I moved back here 2010, 11, and I actually had a girlfriend that passed away from cancer. She was 26 years old. Her name was Tracy Dean, and I run a foundation now called the Pink Wig Foundation, where we raise money to help out women suffering from cancer. So the summer she died in May on Mother's Day. In 2012. And that summer, so it was like a month later, I was playing out here, and like the Pink Wig Foundation, her favorite color was pink. The sky was bright pink that night. Like it was crazy. And I got Bridges 8. It was pin was right at the front bottom right and went up the hill. And coincidentally enough, my brother, who has 0 aces, who's just as good a golfer as me, he went before me, did the same thing, rolled up the hill, came down, and he was like this far from the hole, and I did the exact same thing, went in the hole, and it was just something about that night. It was just the pink sky. Like I was just overcome with emotion at that time. I just really felt like she was there. I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in that stuff, but something was different that night, and it was just really kind of strange and very overwhelming. So that was Bridges 8. And then the very next year, almost year to the day, I got Bridges 8 again. And so that was 6 and 7. I got Bridges 8 again. It was on the left side, went in the hole. And then the very next year, almost year to the date, I got Lakes 8, which was, so that was 2012, 11, or 2012, 13, sorry, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there.
I understand it's hard. I understand it's hard to keep track.
I don't want to be feel like I can't remember. And what's funny is I don't even have the balls for the first 5 of them. Like I never kept them. I had them for a while, and that's a long time, right? Like from 96, that's a long time to kind of hold that stuff. And I wish I valued it a bit more at the time, but again, it doesn't really matter. I've got them, so it is what it is.
Yeah, no social media pictures or nothing of those.
No, I do for the 4 now, but like social media was a thing, right? So I wish even a date, like some of them I don't even remember the date. Like I wish I could do a lottery ticket or something. So yeah, those were 3 years in a row, and then I went on a dry spell until May 3rd. And I wasn't sure if it was going to happen again. It'd been 9 years, and the last 3 years I've been playing a lot of golf. I've been playing the sim all winter long, and my handicap went down to 1.5 last year, which is the lowest it had been since like the early 2000s. And just kind of really putting my efforts into getting better and playing more often and putting in the work, and I've been playing really good golf, and came out of the gate with a couple under round pars under par rounds, and then just playing with the buddies the other night, and they like, there wasn't a peep out of them, man. They were just like, my one buddy was just like, he was just going like this, and I'm just like, let's go.
How's the confidence? How's the confidence on par 3s then? Anywhere you're playing, it's got to be a little different than some.
Honestly, I don't. It's not any different for me because I don't anytime I've gotten one, it's not like I'm trying to do it, obviously. Like I'm just hitting the golf shot, right? And it's not like I'm, this year, last couple years, I've been pin seeking a little bit better, but it's not like it's like they've either gone in or they're 10 feet or 7 feet. Like, it's not like I've had any real close hang-ons, there hasn't been many of those.
Feast or
So
famine.
yeah, right. They've either gone in or they haven't gone in. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what's in the water. I don't really understand it at all. But it's I can tell you this much: the feeling doesn't change every time you get one. It's the exact same feeling. You feel like you just out of body experience, and kind of like a kid that's coming up on Christmas morning or something. It's just like this overwhelming kind of emotional feeling that. And yeah, so I don't know whether to call it luck or what. Like, there's got to be some sort of luck in there involved, obviously, to get that many. But like, then there's got to be the other side to it too. Like, you gotta put it in the hole too. So,
But it's things like this, and this is stories we're hearing, right? And that's what makes our game so special. I mean, you go from, obviously how happy you are and ecstatic with your buddies to, the moment with your ex-girlfriend there, from all highs and lows. That's not possible without this sport. And
it's just, yeah, it's an amazing. It's gotten me through like so much stuff in my life, to going through her death. She was 26 years old. I was 30, and just kind of getting started thinking about family and starting a family and doing those kind of things, and then just that to kind of get ripped away, and and I remember trying to start to get back into golf that summer, and it was hard. It was just the emotion. It was too emotional, and I wasn't playing well, and and I think that was, I don't know if there is a sign. Maybe that was a sign, like, you got to just keep enjoying the game and having fun and playing, and life goes on, and it maybe not something I wanted to hear at the time, but I think when reflecting back on that, that's really what it did. It just keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just and mention a little bit more about that Pink Wig Foundation, and kind of, you touched on that a little bit when you guys just had a big event. You've done some great stuff, it sounds like.
Yeah, so we started it right before she passed away. She was terminal. We were looking for alternative ways to raise money to find a way to not get the terminal diagnosis. Like, look for alternative treatment in Europe, other places. So we knew we had to raise some money. So that's when we created the Pink Wig Foundation. And we had her last birthday, which was her 26th birthday. We had a big fundraiser. We raised a bunch of money, and then she went into palliative care shortly after that. And she was just like, I can't be in this hospital bed anymore. I need to get out of here. So we decided to do a trip to Hawaii. Against doctor's orders, but she's just like, I can't die in this bed here. Like, I need to get out of here. So we went down to Hawaii, and it was amazing. Like, she went from being bedridden to like walking miles a day and eating food again and moving around, and like, she still wasn't great, but she was much better than she was. And then when we got back from that trip, she started to get sick at the end of the trip. We got back from the trip, and she died the next day after that trip. But she asked me to continue with the Pink Wig because she was never one to want to take money from anybody, and she knew the need the need that's needed with women, anyone, but more focus on women in cancer. And there's no financial support. There's so many hidden costs with cancer. Like, we get our drugs paid for, but like, how do you pay for cancer, the parking at the cancer center? How does a loved one take time off work? How do you get by and do these things, right? So there was a huge need for that, and she recognized that. So she asked me to continue on with it, which I have. And now we're 10 years into it. We've raised over $1 million. We've helped out over 50 women in the province with financial grants, money right in their pockets to help them out. So that's where we've gone with that. And it's and she loved golf too. Her parents still golf out here at the Willows, the Din, Tang and Lynn Din, who own Cal Sask Granite. They're out here all the time. And we just had our big gala. And it was awesome. It was the first one since pre-COVID, and it went over really well. We had over 200 people there, and we raised over $50,000. So, things are going quite well. I'm getting kind of towards the end of my time with it, I think, because it's like it's been a long road.
Yeah.
10 years of doing it, I'm getting close to passing it on, but it's helped me get through a lot of the pain of it, because I can put that energy into something. But just to see what it's doing for women in our province too is quite remarkable.
Well, it's great stuff. Maybe it's just some of the karma given back into why you've
Maybe,
gotten
yeah, maybe.
some aces since then. They're coming beforehand, but great stuff. I know you got a tea time at the Willows. Maybe you get number 10 tonight. Who knows?
It's
Maybe
pretty
it's
windy
10.
tonight. You never know. I want to tell you another quick story. Okay, so the par three course where I have two at Paradise Valley in Medicine Hat. So when I went in, I got the hole in one when I was 19, and I was at the family reunion. I ran into the clubhouse. I was like, I got a hole in one. They're like, oh, that's amazing. So this is the most I've ever won
Yeah.
from or got. They're like, you get a 6-pack of Pepsi. I was like, awesome. I just couldn't really believe it. I was like, okay, that's whatever. I didn't expect anything. So the second time when I went back there and got a hole in one at that course again, I went in, I was like, I got my hole in one. Where's my 6-pack of Pepsi? They're like, oh, that's awesome. They come from the back. They're like, we're out of Pepsi. Do you want anything else?
Too many hole in ones, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, I honestly don't even want it. I just thought it was funny that like I knew what the prize was when you get a hole in one there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that's kind of like when people ask if like I am extremely lucky and blessed to be able to have these, but it's like, I'm not that guy who got it once and got a boat either. So, to me, that's that different kind of luck. So I'm lucky, yes, and I wouldn't trade again any of those for anything in the world.